All right, hello guys and gals. Welcome back to Andy's Attic. I'm Andy, obviously. I'm going to do a video today. Happy Easter, everyone. I hope everybody is celebrating the holiday and feasting well. Uh, I am going to do this video on something that is near and dear to my heart, especially with it being Easter. From the time I was young up until probably about 17, 18 years old, we celebrated our Easter holidays, all our holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas as well, at my grandmother's house. She was a huge Mets fan, a huge supporter of me as far as when I was in sports, driving me to practices. My mom didn't drive, and with my dad working and then spending a lot of time elsewhere after work, my grandmother was a big influence and a big supporter of me throughout my knee-high, Babe Ruth, high school, sports days, giving me drives to practice during the week and everything else. So with that being said, I would like to dedicate this video to her and her favorite team, her favorite baseball team, I should say, the New York Mets. I have a little album here with some Dwight Goodens and maybe I think I have a Darryl Strawberry card here too, which, like I always say, these are not all of their cards. I do not want to make this into an hour or two long video. So with that, I'm going to turn this around. And like I said, we spent a lot of Easters at my granny's house, and the Mets were her team. And it's pretty much why I have a PC of Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry and a lot of Mets stuff. It reminds me of her. So let's turn this around and we'll get started. I'm sure everybody's busy, so I'll try to make this as short as possible, which with me, I'm a talker. So all right, let's turn this around and get started. Right, I apologize in advance for any glares. As you can see, it's my normal setup, my normal Pirates, Willie Stargell, my idol. And I'm going to start off with some PSA graded stuff that I have before I get into the binder. All right, we're going to start off right here with this 1984 Topps Trade-It, Doc Gooden. These were the days I remember. I mean, previously, 80 through 84, you know, I watched a lot of Mets with her and stuff like that, and she had her favorites during that time. But once Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry came onto the scene and there was a little more excitement with the Mets and a little more promise, I spent a lot more time at my Gram's house watching Mets games and relishing in her joy as well. So obviously when they won in 86, I was rooting for them. But this is a 1984 Topps Trade-It Dwight Gooden, Dr. K. And they used to announce a lot when he would throw his curveball as an Uncle Charlie. But we'll throw that up here. I also have a 1984. This is a All-Star Pro Game Program insert, which is a hand-cut card. As you know, I like the hand-cut cards. And if you notice anything different on this jersey, it is 64, which I am taking it as his spring training jersey before he made the team. If anybody knows for sure, drop a bomb in the comments. But that's what I'm just assuming. Throw that up next on there. I also have these, which I attained this past year. This is a 1985 police issue, Dwight Gooden. And to go along with that, at a pretty reasonable price, I ended up grabbing the autographed version as well. It's actually the only autograph Dwight Gooden card I have. I thought it looked really good on the card, so I purchased it. This is also the 1985 Police set, which is a set that I guess the police in New York, they have a 911 emergency number on the back, courtesy of your local Kiwanis Club law enforcement agency and the New York Mets. So it's funny that Dwight Gooden and Strawberry both got busted at one time, but the card reads, if you are using drugs, the joke is on you. Drug abuse is not funny. So that's ironic enough. But let's move these guys up. Let's see if we can fit these guys down bottom. Give you a better look. There we go. Next, I'm going to show you a 1984 Donruss Darryl Strawberry. During this time period, I was actually a really big fan of Dwight Gooden and Strawberry as well. My senior Babe Ruth jersey, I was number 16 in honor of Dwight Gooden and Bo Jackson at the time. Next, we're going to get to the album, so let's pause this for a minute. Alright, I don't know how good this is going to film because I have to keep the binder laid flat. So we're going to try to do the best we can with this, but this is my binder, my Dwight Gooden collection. I still have a few to add. There's a couple box bottoms that I've really been checking out lately that I wish I would already have. The 85 Donruss box bottom, which I think is one of his best cards, actually pose-wise, picture-wise. And the 1986 Topps box bottom, which I don't think I have in here either. But this whole binder is Dwight Gooden. There's the late Fernando Valenzuela. Rest in peace. Seems like it's not too bad. You just get a good view. Might be on a slight angle, but a lot of cards here of Dwight Gooden. There's a Drake's that I cut off a box. There's the Quaker Oats, Quaker Chewy Granola Bars. There's the 87s. There's actually an 87 box bottom there. Some little subset like KB Toy, and those were some great sets back in the day too. Very inexpensive, great cards, loved them all. I'm pretty sure that's a 7-Eleven or similar to that. I apologize if there's any shakiness because I'm obviously holding the tripod and the phone, and it's a pretty restless night of sleep. Like I always say, it sucks getting old. You're up every hour and a half, 2 hours going to the bathroom, and then my daughter woke up in the middle of the night last night as well. So I'm going to try to make this a little, it's probably not going to be a short video, I got so many cards in this binder right now. There's the starting lineup, which I actually have the starting lineup loose, and from this card is where that came from. And then I also bought pretty cheap the actual 88 starting lineup figure still in the package. There's a bazooka. Love those cards. Just cards in general, I love them all. I always say I have a cardboard fetish. Cardboard with pictures on them of athletes and guys that I idolized when I was a teenager. Obviously, Dwight Gooden was more of my teenage years. I'll try not to bore you too much with all these cards here. I'm just going to flip through some pages. There's a post. So I have quite a few. And like I said, I still have some I got to do to fill in the gaps. There's a King B, beef jerky, 91. These are 92s. So I like to try and keep my binders in order. I may someday switch this over to a top loader binder. There's a McDonald's from 92. Another King B's from 93. And we move forward in his career when he went to the Yankees and played for the Indians, I guess for a season or so. Then we have a 1985 Donruss, the All-Stars. They're the bigger, they're like a 5x7. And we also had the Donruss pop-ups, which I really like them too. They're really different, cool. I have the, I turn it this way here so you can see it better. It's a 1985 Super, Top Super. And I have a little Mets photo pack here, which is the team set. We got Strawberry and Gooden there. Pretty sure that's Rick Aguilera. Yeah. Sean Abner was there. There's Bruce Berenia. I think that's Rafael Santana. The names are in the back. I can't remember all of them, but obviously Gary Carter and Keith Hernandez. Roger McDowell and Jesse Orozco. George Foster and Lenny Dykstra. Young Lenny Dykstra there. Tim Tuffle. That might be Rafael Santana. Let me look. Yep, that's Rafael Santana. So I was wrong on the other one. Wally Backman, Ray Knight. There's Mookie Wilson. Yep, Bill Robinson. That's who I thought it was. He's an ex-Pirate, amongst other teams. There's a young Hojo, young Kevin Mitchell. Sid Fernandez and Ron Darling, and that is Ron Gardenhire, so I was wrong back there too, and Tim Cochran. We got, let's see, Randy Myers and Doug Sisk, and Bobby Ojeda and Randy Neiman. Randy Neiman was also a Pirate for a little while. That is Barry Lyons and Greg Pavlik, who I'm not familiar with. Maybe you true Mets fans will know who they are. Refresh my memory here. It's Ed Lynch and Tom Gorman. We have John Gibbons and Stan Jefferson, and Ed Hearn and Danny Heap. Then we got Davey Johnson. I know who he is, and I think that's Stottlemyre. Yeah, Mel Stottlemyre. And a couple other might be Bam. No, Bud Harrelson, which is a Mets great, and Vern Rossetti? No, Hushite. At least that's how I think you pronounce it. And here comes the good stuff. When I was a kid, I would save all the newspaper clippings. I have tons more than just this good, and I have boxes full of them. But I would cut them out and put them into these magnetic photo albums, the old style. That would ruin the backs of everything, but these are just articles that I cut out and I put into this photo album. You know, when he would do something good, or even when he was getting in trouble with the law. I have a bunch of these. A bunch that I cut out and made my own little scrapbook. Like I said, I'm glad I kept it. I'm glad I have it. I would cut pictures out of magazines, put them in there, TV guides. There's him even, he's batting. He was a pretty good hitting pitcher. So much. I'm pretty sure that was the year they made the All-Star with Davy Johnson as their coach. A 15-cent stamp in there for whatever reason, not sure why. So I hope you're enjoying this video. This is going to be a little longer than what I thought it would be. Oh well. If you have time to watch it, great. If not, I understand. Scroll past some of this stuff if you're not interested in it. I don't take offense to it. I obviously am not doing it. I'm doing it for my own purposes, like I said, to just tell stories and good memories that I have of past loved ones. Doing it to catalog my my collection, stuff like that. That's actually an old drawing that I drew when I was about probably 9 or 10 years old of the Mets logo. Not the greatest. Not no Scott from Reindeer Studios, that's for sure. But I was a 9-year-old Andy's Attic original right there. Like I said, I cut pictures out of magazines and stuff and articles and whatnot just to make this big scrapbook pretty much of Dwight Gooden. There's the insert of a magazine. I just think it's really cool. Maybe you find it a little interesting, a little cool as well. This is something that I will probably never, ever get rid of. Maybe I'll leave it into my will for my one buddy that's a huge Mets fan, so it doesn't get thrown out, and it's actually still loved by someone, because I don't know who else would want it, honestly. That's cut off of a magazine cover. I wish I wouldn't have ever done that. I wish I still had the full magazine, which I can go out and buy if I want to. But it's a good thing about eBay and other places. You can still find magazines, especially. You won't find these newspaper clippings. These are probably, unless somebody else did the same thing as me and cut nightly or weekly out of magazines. But I think this is coming up to the final. I left some pages in there open for other articles. I still have lots of uncut newspapers in a box somewhere. Maybe I'll find some more Dwight Gooden stuff. But that, for the most part, is it for now. And one more page. This is the last page of the photos. I'm pretty sure the rest are just fillers. Yeah. So that is that. So I'm going to wrap this up in a minute. Let me turn the camera back around. I hope you've enjoyed. And I'm back. All right. Before we wrap this up, I just want to wish everybody a happy Easter again. I hope you and your families are having a wonderful Easter feast or celebrating the holiday the way that we all should be. With that being said, I wanted to also talk about my 100 subs. What I'm going to do is, for my 100th sub, I'm going to give out a $25 eBay gift card, as well as this Mickey Mantle postcard. I really think it's unique. I think it's neat. I've seen it maybe once or twice on eBay. I'm not even sure. It could be a custom postcard. I never really looked into it. The backside is like a postcard. But it'll be a $25 eBay gift card plus one of these. And the only stipulations to this is going to be you have to be a subscriber of mine. You also have to leave a comment on this video. I want you to include the words Happy Easter, and somewhere in the comment, hashtag Uncle Charlie, in honor of Dwight Gooden and my grandmother. And I also would like you to let me know who your favorite team is, which I know some of yours already, but I'd still appreciate you leaving your favorite team and your all-time favorite player. It doesn't even have to be off the team that you like. I just want to know your all-time favorite player growing up, your idol. Like I always say, mine is Willie Stargell. Second in line is probably Dave Parker, as being a Pirates fan, but Willie Stargell was my original idol, and I would like to know yours as well. I am going to end this contest, as far as comments go and all that stuff, on April 30th at midnight. And what I'm going to do is I'll put the names in a hat, and we're going to do it old school style that way. I'm going to put it in a hat like we used to do sometimes on the playground. We would throw people's names in a hat to pick teams and stuff, so it was fair or not. And then I'm going to have my 4-year-old daughter, she'll pick them out, and hopefully she does a decent job with that. Sometimes she's not too good with direction, but that's how I'm going to do it. So I would appreciate you commenting. If you're not subscribed, please do. As far as being a subscriber, you have to be a subscriber up to this point. If you just subscribe because of this video, or you just see it and you decide to subscribe last minute just to try and win a prize, I'm not going to accept it. So it's whoever is subscribed up to this point, which it's Easter Sunday today. So anybody before this video who is subscribed has an opportunity to win this prize. All right, with that being said, happy Easter. Have a super awesome freaking day. Like I always say, life is precious. Let's try to make the most of it. We're here in this community, connecting with one another and spreading the love. So, all right, signing out. Peace out. However you want to look at it. Yeah, I think that's it. We're good with that one. So we're going to stop this video.